Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 19 of Global Picnic. So, as you see, we're slowly approaching number 20, which means that we've covered quite a lot of topics and we're still a lot of topics to go. As you've probably seen, for all of you who watch us live every Tuesday, at the moment there's three of us in the hot seat, still awaiting our fourth member, and our fifth comrade, or our fifth musketeer, or our fifth Global Picnic family member, Dagmar Gattel, will not be joining us today. I'm really happy to kick off this really interesting topic. I hope you all find it not only interesting, but you find it insightful enough to share it with others, to use it, and apply the tips and tricks that we can offer you. Also, since we're live, since we're going live, we'll be checking the live chat box that we have, and in case you have any questions, feel free to just pop them in, and we'll try to answer it as best as possible. Perhaps for those who really do not know us yet, or do not know the Global Picnic community, which is turning also into a family, we will, in the beginning, introduce ourselves, and each one of us will share like a small gem of the Global Picnic community, so you will get a better feeling about who we are, what we do, and what we're about. As I'm seeing also right now, our fourth member, Varun, has also joined us. So I think we're now in full swing, and we can shortly take off this Tuesday's journey. For all of you that watch us live, feel free also to shout out via hashtag Global Picnic on Twitter. Or also, Varun will keep an eye on the Facebook platform and possible Facebook questions that there are. Everybody, as the beginning bits, my name is Ala Britzel. I'm the digital marketer and coach. I focus mostly working with global entrepreneurs and global companies, including storytelling, content creation, and copyright. But most importantly, since this was also the topic that was discussed in Global Picnic, I help anyone who is struggling or needs empowerment to find their why. So the story behind and the intention behind what is it that they do, what they do, and how to get it to a wider audience. So hello everybody again. I'm turning the microphone or the words to anyone in any alphabetical order of my Global Picnic community. So Alberto, you start.
Alberto, your turn.
Yeah.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Alberto Gomez from Colombia. I'm a content producer, writer, and publisher at my company, and I have also a side project that calls Moni. I'm happy to be here with you in this new episode of Global Picnic.
Thank you, Alberto. So I think it's time for Amalia.
Hello, everybody. My name is Amalia Gomez. I'm from Colombia, but I'm living in Spain. I work like an e-commerce manager since 9 years or something like that. And then like a digital marketer too with my project, jointic.com. I'm so happy to be the fifth musketeer of Global Picnic family, and I want to share my knowledge and to know the different ideas from my partners. Welcome everyone. Bienvenidos todos.
Muy bien, y gracias.
Bienvenido, Varun, también.
Sí, see. Hola, namaste, dobar dan, or Shir Varun. It's your turn.
Hello and namaste from India. I'm Varun. I work in the social media marketing and content marketing industry. As I always said that I need a translation when Spanish starts in full swing. So, hola amigos. Just these 3 or 4 words I know in Spanish. And a special thanks to Amalia for suggesting today this week's topic. So very interesting topic. Let's start and over to Zala.
Thank you, Varun. Yes, for those of you who may not know us, just shortly, this is a group of friends and family who not only gathers every Tuesday but regularly chats throughout the week. We kind of discuss the topics in advance. It is usually a brainstorming session across platforms and across channels. But what is more important, as you probably heard, it is the community, it is a movement, and it is the ideas behind the fact that we are all global citizens 2.0, that we have different cultural experience, different past business experience, and also cover different business expertise or different business areas. We are almost covering all continents. We're hopefully to tap into also the African continent, which is still one that is missing in our puzzle. And there is also one distinctive thing that brought us together in Global Picnic and brought together the Musketeers, which is that we are all non-native English speakers, meaning that English is not our first language. We are learning it either through business, or we're learning it on the go, or we're basically learning and growing through working in global environments or in global teams, such as also Global Picnic. But without further ado, today's topic is related to the topic of why are you in the business, which we discussed a few episodes prior. And for today, it was the idea of discussing the how-to. So basically, it is like a mini crash course of digital marketing starting points for all of you who are thinking about it, who wish to start, who have an idea or who have a business and want to bring it to the internet, want to bring it in a digital environment and become social and also do it via social media. So my question for all of us is, I have an idea or I have a business model or I am doing something or I want to speak about my passion or I want to start my business and I want to start on the internet. So what are your suggestions? How do I go about it? How do I start?
Okay, I will start.
Okay.
First of all, like in offline work, you have to make a plan to put a specific goal, and then you have to create and tactics to follow to get. For example, if you start with an e-commerce, you have to know if you sell a product or if you sell a service. And you have to know the technical issues, for example, the hosting provider, your domain provider, and what kind of channels will you use to connect with your target and to let know your business. I think this is the first point for me and for my experience.
So it's kind of the 5 touch points that you would suggest not only for e-commerce but for everybody who's starting a business, right?
Exactly. E-commerce is only an example. and then Alberto can tell us if you start with a blog, you can follow similar steps to joining internet world.
Entonces, Torrey, Alberto, I think that this was a clue for you. I mean, I understood it.
I really think I got like 3 or 4 experience with online projects. I really learned too much things in this process, but I really think that you need, first of all, you need a web page. It can be a landing page with a promo video and an email subscription. You need to start with that. Landing page, promo, and you need to start to build your list at the first time. Why? Because when you go to social media, when you go to email marketing, when you go outside and spread your ideas to the world, you need one place to traffic all that people and show them what you do and how you can help them and how your product or service can improve their lives or their works. I have a great experience this year with Moni because we start a content marketing strategy. We want to add value to our audience through our blog, teaching things, making some reflections, sharing some quotes with them, because in the future we want to launch 3 or 4 products, digital products. So we want to as Joe Pulizzi said, we want to add value before we extract value from our audience. So in making a summary of things, landing page, promo video, build your email list, and spread your ideas through content. Maybe you can use a blog, maybe you can use a video blog, maybe you can use a podcast. But for things to get started with your business idea on internet.
In the era of internet. Oh yeah. Okay. So, Varun, would you like to share your thoughts before I share mine?
So, before we start on internet, we need to think why we need to go on internet. This is the first question in first place. But if you are not internet, you are losing a very big part of global transaction which is happening in the right now in a real time basis. So if you think that you have to go on internet, you need to build a brand for you. If you think that I can make a website or I can start something which will be a very successful, you need to think about that. On an average, there are emojis, which is the SEO, which is one of the big SEO names on social media or in the internet world. It's actually indexed around 178 billion URLs in 178 billion websites. So you need to find a name and remember them. Easy to remember. You need to also find a similar social media name so that everybody can relate to it and everybody can easily find it. So before going online, you need to find a unique name to can find your brand, find your personality, and available on all social network and internet. You can use the tools like KNOWM, KNOWM. You can search on internet or Google. You will find that tool. There you can search the name. It can display around the almost 500 social networks or different communities. Via that, you can decide that this is the username is available most of the social media profile or website. So once you find your username able to your personality and target your or what is your target audience, you can go for it. After that, as the Amalia said, you need to think about where to start your website. If you are targeting global audience, you need to think about which hosting provider. And instead of the faster loading, which is around 2 seconds or 3 seconds, is advisable loading speed of any website. To that kind of hosting provider, which is providing CDN, which is a content delivery network. Uh, Minimize the website loading time, and this is very helpful from the to process too. Need to think about the basic things first, then go for build your brand, be it on social media or be it on website via SEO and content marketing. Chala?
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm seeing also the lively chat box that Alberto is filling for us. We'll of course monitor the chat box of the YouTube live. It was really interesting to listen to all of you. I most definitely agree with most points or with certain points. But speaking from experience, I would say, or now, for example, with the recent 2 clients that I've had that were actually, expressing they are in life changes. They want to start a new idea and they want to start a new business that they have matured in, and I think they're ready to go on the internet. And it is basically through the first brainstorming sessions. I think that there were 3 main points that we kind of discovered, which are basically of course, when you enter the internet, for me, basically websites or landing pages and social media kind of go hand in hand together. But we've noticed that perhaps it's really useful to see, for example, what I'm using or what I'm seeing as useful, and what can I model. For example, I've seen a good landing page. This is something I could, for example, use, or this is something that could be useful for me in the beginning when things are hectic, overwhelming, and I can't spend maybe 24 hours building everything and creating content, telling my stories, and then also be on social media. Maybe when you're choosing something or when you're choosing a communication channel, find out what suits you, what interactions you've made there, what information you've gathered there, and start there. So you do have a basis there, you do have a platform or communication channel that you master and you're good with it. So don't stress now with bringing it in something totally new or something totally unmanageable for maybe the first month, the first half of the year, or maybe for the first year. Then second of all, I think that what you all mentioned is that, and we also heard it today, I think several times via the content writing chat also, it's that the web is only our outlet or our garage that there is, but our home base is always either a landing page or a website or my home page, whichever it is. But I think that there is a really important question when we think about how do we want to present ourselves to the world, which stories we wish to tell, or what kind of content can be best to transmit our stories. I think you need to think in duality. One is, for example, if you're choosing a URL or if you're choosing your website, think about what you wish to do. Would you like to create or for example, or be better in better known for your authority. So for example, I'm an expert in XYZ, for example, content creation, SEO, copywriting, or whatever it is. Or is it something, for example, I want my personal brand or my business brand to be known for? So maybe your website or your landing page could actually be something that, for example, you're offering. So I'm just thinking out loud here, not to, because I can't at the moment really say the exact, for example, landing page that we chose, but for example, find your story or be a successful storyteller or something like this. So
maybe a crash course.
Yeah, or maybe a crash course, or for example, awardaday.com or something like this, and then you can offer a crash course there. Thanks, Alberto. And the third one is, I think that you all mentioned it, is having a plan, which means for every day of the week, for every week, every month, and the first 6 months. And I think that the really important thing is the consistency. So you kind of need to get the grasp of what does it mean, for example, to create a content or create conversation for every day of the week, every week for 1 month. So how much time does it take? And for example, how much content I'm able to produce, outsource, or something like this.
If you got your goals, it's very easy to create the content at the first time. You can create, you can write maybe 4, 5, or 6 blog posts at the first 2 weeks, and then you got 6 more weeks to publish and to be constant, but not publish constantly, but not writing constantly, because sometimes in the day-to-day work, you don't have too much time for create content. It's very hard for many people, as me.
So, Alberto, walking. Sorry, Amalia. Thanks. I'll just give you the word, but I just wanted to say, walk the talk. Let's walk the talk, Alberto. And I wanted to ask you, what do you think about some of the tips they say? I don't know, schedule a time for writing and creating content. Let's say every day for 1 or 2 hours. So, what can you say about this?
I don't know, maybe each person needs to define what's the better way for them. Guy Kawasaki said that when you have something to write, you need to vomit that chapter or that blog. You need to write as fast as possible. That way you don't lose your idea. For some people write 2 hours each day. Some people write 300 words each day. Some people write 2 days in a row every month. I don't know. Maybe each people need to define what is the best way to create content. Not only to write, to design, to make the videos, to make the courses, to make the podcast episode. For podcasting, is a very good idea to record, if you want, 4, 5, 6 episodes in 1 day. So 1 day recording, 1 day mastering, and then you schedule the days you want to publish the podcast. But you save a lot of time this way.
Okay. Yeah, just wanted, it was just something that I wanted also to hear your opinion. Amalia, go ahead. You wanted to say something.
Okay. I think maybe Carla, before you tell that the people have to know their own limitations.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have your self-knowledge, you can know what is your strong point, and you can know how to create your plan. Because maybe for Alberto, it's easy to write a lot in one day, and maybe for Varun, it's easy to create good content in social media in an hour, and maybe for you, you can make an inspirational topic in a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so important to know our limitations and our stronger points.
Yeah. Not one size fits all, or we can all fit into one box. And thanks, I say, bam, Amalia, right on point. I totally agree. I totally agree. It's like take the rules and bend them, like Bender did in the famous cartoon. So bend them to your needs and bend them to your wishes. And especially bend them to what your audience needs, what your people tell you. Yeah?
No.
Be a good listener.
Yeah.
and create a channel
Mm-hmm.
like a heart-to-heart connection, but with your audience.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like it's like I always say, but I don't know if I mentioned in Global Picnic Community, it's like build conversations for the long term. It's not like when you make a first contact, it's like, bam, let's get married, let's have children. It's like, the first contact. Slow down. We'll get there, perhaps. Relate or not. But, yeah, but let's get to know each other. I want to ask sorry, a very important question here, because as we mentioned, also for starting something, you not only need to know, you need to plan well or know things and know yourself, which is kind of the most important after knowing your audience. But what's it with when people say, what do I need to do? Alberto, you already spoke about it. Also, Amalia, you, but is it like, do I need a website? Do I need a Facebook group? Do I need a Facebook page? Do I need Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and everything? So I'm totally lost, overwhelmed. People tell you, it's like, I want to cover all the bases. What is your best suggestion from the, let's say, last project that you did or maybe are doing?
Should I start?
You can.
Thank you.
We.
Social
Yeah.
media is very addictive. My private account is already subscribed to both social media accounts and the community is very active in the especially marketing, which is very overwhelming because I can't log in on what 15 plus social media and community on that.
Varun, I'm so sorry. I can't hear you. I think that also Amalia can't hear you. Alberto, can you hear Varun?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. So is it possible, Varun, either to refresh or maybe start again? Because I think that this is also right up your alley. Or
I can hear, but the volume is going up and down.
I can't hear him. I just.
Okay, I join.
Or maybe. Or maybe you can put your microphone closer, if possible.
Let me join again.
Okay. Okay, so Varun will join us with his gold nuggets. He has lots to share. So what do you think? What do you think, guys? I mean, Alberto already mentioned it, but for example, let's hear it for all the entrepreneurs or monopreneurs who are listening out there and are.
I really think that you need to know the path that you are going to walk.
Okay.
The digital world has very complex things, but now they become very easy things. You need to understand what is a website, what is a social media, what is a social network, what is a blog, what is a newsletter, what is all these kind of tools. And it depends on your goal and your audience that you use it. But I'm still recommend that you need to start with a landing page, build your list, and make a promo. Because this able you for the first time to capture attention, to speak to the world, and to get some emails for the moment you want to tell something. When some person gives you their personal email, this is a signal of trust. And if you start to build trust for the first time of your startup or your project, that is a good sign of you're doing well. Then you stop and think your goals, think your audience, build your website or your blog or your social media accounts. But my first tip is build a landing page, collect emails, and share your ideas, and share something like a crash course or something like that. If you are talking about, if you're going to launch maybe a book about blogging, why don't you start giving your audience a crash course about what is the best blogging platform for you? And maybe it's a crash course in YouTube. Maybe it's a half an hour or half an hour video on YouTube. But you are giving your audience something, and you are showing your audience, and you are building trust with your audience. Then you build the ways to communicate with them.
Yeah. No, it's like I'm just. I was just thinking, because it's like I absolutely agree, but a lot of times, since we're here to share our experience and our thoughts, I oftentimes remember the questions from my clients who say, yeah, okay, but I mean, you're in this business or you're in this environment. So, for example, for all of us in this global village of Global Picnic community, when you say, for example, find the best blogging platform or find the best this and that, it's like, for us, it's like, yeah, tuck. I will ask Alberto. I will ask Amalia. I'll ask that one. I will go to the Twitter chat. But maybe can we be really specific for those who kind of don't know our environment, don't have our expertise? So, for example, if I want to find the best blogging platform, what are the three steps? Or if I'm looking for the best communication channel, what are the best 3 examples that I can use? That I can acquire this information that is much more than just Googling, how to find the best platform for bloggers, for example, which is also one option, and nothing wrong with this, with all due respect. Please. What do you think?
Varun.
Not only you, Alberto, all of you.
Varun.
Yeah. If you ask, look on social media, Darren Rose from ProBlogger is one of the names where you can look for the blogging advice. Another one is Jay Pulaj. These 2 accounts are always sharing the good knowledge about the blogging and the blogging platform. If you like to start a free blogging platform, like if you don't want or to invest in a website or in a hosting service, you can start from LinkedIn Pulse, which is free service. You can write on Medium, which is very active, and there are some groups on that which is have very, what say, the die-hard fan, which is avid readers, which actually see the but a targeted niche of around 50,000 or 70,000 plus readers on single articles. There is some private networks of blogging like the Outbrain and Taboola, where the people are sharing their blogs, and the readers, targeted readers are there for reading that. If you start a free blog, you can also use the Google Blogger.com or WordPress.com. There is a free service where you can start your free blog. But it is always better to have your website, because the free thing is hosted on the others network, which can be the rule change, or other might be your account might be closed or wiped or something else. If you build your own website, the content will be direct under your supervision, under your control. But even if you are not willing, you can try free, which is Medium and the WordPress.com. Apart from it, many people are using social media for the blogging thing. Like you have heard of the Facebook Notes, where people actually write many things and share it on their Facebook page or in the Facebook group. There is something other, the micro blogging sites like Twitter, where people are sharing a lot of content and something linking to other social networks. There is private networks like for marketeers. There are growthhackers.org or the inbound.org, where people can write. If you also want a targeted niche and build a personal brand, you can use Quora, Quora. Quora is a very targeted platform where you can use for the targeted audience for your website. If you don't have a website, you can also use Quora for your personal brand building. Apart from that, there are some other platforms like Instagram, where you can share the visuals with short messages, which is also good for building your loyal audience and sharing your thoughts or about your products or your services in a day-to-day basis. Chala?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you. Listening, taking in, processing the information. Yes, I most definitely agree. I think that you've named a huge amount of resources and action steps that you can take. So I think that this can be really helpful for those who might be struggling with going beyond doing a simple Google search, or maybe asking a friend of a friend who knows things about this, or maybe those who haven't tapped into joining either professional or business-oriented communities on different platforms. Or maybe for me, it is also a pro-biz tip that I have found also through my clients, closed mastermind groups across platforms very useful. And I think that mastermind groups in a way that are forming also across Facebook can be can be a really huge advantage, and also can help you with the struggles or when you're facing setbacks or don't know what to do. So it's like a real quick masterminding group, and also support hug when you need it.
I think it's so important when you start, don't waste your resources, because you can start with a free platforms, for example, Facebook, for example, Twitter, Instagram, and you can learn the mechanisms. I don't know if the word is correct?
Yeah.
Technically, of the social media, and the influencers are a good tip too, because you can learn for these mistakes, and you can start with your knowledge, other knowledge and mistakes. You can start free, and like Maroon said, you can start with a WordPress, for example, or like Alberto said, with Medium. And like first step, and then you can grow in the internet.
Yeah, in the internet. Yeah, thanks, Amalia. I think I think that for a lot of people, it's useful that they're not alone, which I think that covers also all the bases in business that we do. But most importantly, that, for example, if someone has made mistakes before or somebody learned something from it, I think it can be really beneficial for all of us who are going that path or going that way. So I think that when we were mentioning or blogs or content that you have on your website, for me, there is like one rule, or I often say that this is the most important rule that you do. Yeah, be consistent. Doesn't matter. Don't write a book or a poem 20 pages long, but whatever you do, whatever you create, don't only create it with the audience that you're speaking to in mind, but also be mindful about that you don't write just another gazillion blog post about how to start a WordPress, but maybe go the other way around, or do go the other way around. Write a blog post that says, I wanted to create my WordPress blog post myself, and this is what I learned. So these are the 5 steps that I learned, because this will actually really help your audience. This will actually be the best trigger for those who are maybe struggling how to set up a blog post, what to write, and, for example, what you can expect or what are the difficulties that you will be facing. This is the way we also work with all of the projects that I'm involved with, and not to just add to the noise, but actually add some value to the people who really need help or are struggling with something. Amalia, by the way, you brought up a really good question of don't burn your time out, or don't burn yourself out, and be mindful of your resources, which kind of relates also to the team that you're creating, or who does what in your company. For example, either you're a solopreneur or you have a really small team. So please tell us your, for example, opinions or your insights regarding this. So what do I do myself? What do I outsource? Who do I look for?
For example, if I don't have a technical profile, I am not a programmer, and I need someone who can help me with the technical issues for the web, for example, because you can use easy platforms like WordPress, but in many cases you have to include some plugins with specific things that is better that to let the work from a person who was specialized in a programming on web developer or something like that. For example, in design, I can work with Canva, I can work with Photoshop in design, but I'm not a designer. If I need spectacular banner, I ask people, a designer, professional designer, to help me in many cases. And if one of my stronger is the financial things, I make my numbers and I make the budget and I plan and I search the analytics data and I have my conclusions. For example, if I need a lot of content, I ask for my husband. He writes a lot, like a crazy man. Maybe I need more time to make an idea concrete in the paper.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe he can make it so fast.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is the idea. We have to put the responsibilities according to your profile. Because if you don't waste time, you don't waste the resources.
Mm-hmm.
And you can have a good benefit in the future.
Mm. Yeah, I'm so with you on that, Amalia, because I think that this is really important. It's not only about not spreading ourselves too thin, but it's really knowing like our pros and cons, so our advantages and disadvantages, and say, okay, I'm really good at this. I can manage this part of, my pie, and, all the rest parts I will try to either find somebody or do a collaboration with somebody, ask somebody to help me, or ask somebody refer me to somebody. But my personal mantra is, and I say it all the time, that I have seen so many times that people said, we're going on the internet, we're gonna make it, we're gonna make billions, we want to make numbers and this and that. So, we're either from the start, we're hiring somebody, we're hiring an agency, we're outsourcing the team, which is fine for somebody, so not one size fits all. But I think that in the beginning, when you're actually, really getting the feel of your company, when you're putting yourself out there on the map, and when you're building relationships with your audience, with the people that want to know you, buy you, and know you, and then first trust you, and then hopefully buy from you. It's really important that it is you that listens, it is you that creates whatever blog post or an article or a hello and thank you page, because I think that this is the most valuable, and these are the most critical and important moments, because from then onwards it is much easy to expand and grow, and then perhaps one day really outsource it. So go by bite size, I say.
And one more thing we can do, that we can collaborate with our customers. If you are solopreneur, you can connect with other solopreneurs in your community or in your niche market. The other thing, if you are working with a lot of clients which are also solopreneurs or small businesses, they can also ready to collaborate with you. Like they have something expertise in other things which you don't have, so you can build a long relationship where you can both cross promote each other on the internet, and you can collaborate for something which is beneficial for both of you.
Yeah, I agree. Like
a community.
Yeah.
Build a community where you can both help each other and build a long-lasting relation to promoting each other.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We called it co-marketing. We still call it co-marketing. So kind of doing it two ways. So you help me, I help you, and together we're a happy family, like Global Picnic.
And it is very helpful, because when we help each other, we build a big bigger community, or let's say a private network of collaborators around the world. Like if I cross promote you that Jala, if you want a storyteller list, the Jala, she can help you. Like if you are connected with her or him, then we are grow from 2 to 3, and this will be a multiplier effect, and the network will be growing, and we will all will be benefited by this bigger network.
Okay. Um, I think that there were a lot of really valuable tips. There were a lot of parts of our experiences, but I think that now it's time to get down to the basics, which also means that the intention or the purpose of this group is also to share our past wins and fails and what didn't work and work. So it's now time. Time to take off our gloves and say it like it is. So to speak about our internet beginnings and our digital businesses, what we do every day, what we have done or will be doing in the future. So let's share more about this, so that, you know, when we come on Tuesday shows, it's actually we walk the talk, so we talk from our experience.
I would like to share that my first digital venture was in December 2012 around, with my friend, and which actually failed, as we all discussed this on the around 5 or 6 weeks back on our Global Picnic show. So the reason was that we get the client, but we are not able to sustain that momentum. We started our digital agency, which had his social media names or the website with the same name. The all thing was right, but the most important part we lacked that the continuous momentum of sales. We actually failed. So we can build a website, we can have a social media name, we can have all the things. But the most important thing, we need to focus on our product and the continuous moment of cycle, which is actually not in on the sale, but it is a continuous with our after sales service and the repeat customers. So we can do all the basic things right, but we also need to focus on the main important part of all these initiatives, which is the ultimate goal, the sale.
Okay. Thank you. So who are my next bidders? Alberto. You were quiet there for a long time. Bring it on.
Yeah, I was thinking a lot of things here.
Just say them out loud. It's all allowed in Global Picnic.
Even if it means in Spanish.
Yeah,
in Spanish.
We'll translate it and do connotations and subtitles. Don't worry.
Jala will provide translation for me.
No, I always have maybe the same thoughts about digital world. But for many years, I was searching for the right people to communicate with, because the first time I connected to internet was 18 years ago. The first time I make some digital project was 10 years ago, and I get a lot of great response, but I don't have the experience to give the people the feedback or I don't have the experience to grow that project at that time. Right now, I think this. You need to learn from the others' experience, but you need to build with your own experience. You need to test, and you need to make a lot of experiments every day, and you need to focus on that thing you're good, and you need to ask for help with that things that you are not good. In an internet, to learn some things is very easy, but maybe sometimes you don't have too much time for learn all that you need to learn. Ask for help. Ask for teaching. Define your goals. That is very important. And I'm not thinking right now about to build an audience. I'm thinking right now to build a community. That is maybe the biggest advice I can say to people after my money experience, because the audience is listening to you, but the community is too much bigger than the audience, because in the community you got co-workers, you got sympathizers, you got people that give you feedback, you got leads, you got customers, you got it's up too much big. And if you think what makes Star Wars or Star Trek or soccer teams biggest, how do you say that? It's not the budget, it's not the color of the shirt, it's the community around them. The Trekkies, the fans from Star Wars, los hinchas del equipo,
the spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah. The spirit of your brand is given by the community, not and the community is all around, all the people around gravitating around your brand and your product. Maybe too philosophical, but
oh, Alberto, we like you for it. For all of you that don't know Alberto, he's the guy who brings the food and the drink analogies to this picnic, and a lot of philosophy and a lot of thoughts in here. So this is also the side of the Global Picnic that there is. And in the Global Picnic, we are exactly who we are. We are human beings. We are how we are, philosophical, fun, happy, whatever we are, and that's also the greatness of the Global Picnic community. Not only sharing our insights and ideas, but creating like heart-to-heart connections and showing also the real human side of it. But listening to you, Alberto, there are so many ways that also I can relate. I think it was just today that I was reflecting the
meaning of
what
life.
they say. It's like you've come a long way. And it's like I've been in digital space and working not only with clients and customers, but building stories, creating communities, or creating relations that did not end when I changed jobs, or when I changed gigs, or also when I went solo. It is the relationship and engagements that stay, and people don't forget. Maybe they forget what we actually did 10 years ago, but they don't forget how we made each other feel, what wins we did, what losses we suffered. And in December, it will be 1 year since I started my own venture, my own zalabritzel.com, my Urla home base that I have, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's I think that now I'm much more equipped to empower others, to help them more efficiently, sharing my stories and lending a hand. When they come to me with questions, or when they're looking for answers, I think that I'm much better equipped to say, sure, here I can help you with, here I will refer you to somebody. This is, for example, you can find here or there, or maybe there is a really better expert that I met on social media last chat or last week that could help you, or this is worthwhile. And as I know, a lot of people have said it. Brian Fenzo also wrote about it, how social media can change your careers or your lives, and I passionately feel the same. I think in the last 2 years, the social communities and digital landscapes has changed my life completely. I have made connections also with you, who I've never met in real life. Hopefully we will meet someday, but I was able to create connections with you. We were able to get together for Global Picnic. We are not only collaborating, empowering, but we are creating something. We are creating something with a purpose that serves a greater purpose than just my business, your venture, and so on. And that's basically what I want to do.
It's like the movie Big Fish.
Good.
Yeah, exactly. How did you know that, Alberto? I just saw it 2 weeks ago, like for the 10th time.
Because it's one of my favorites.
Yeah. It's deep, and it's I mean, it gives you a lot to think about. So yeah. So that's it. I mean, I am from my side, I can say that the episode was. I really enjoyed it, as I enjoy every single Tuesday that we get together, even though we see each other across Twitter or Instagram. But it is, it is this that serves a much greater purpose, I also think, because we can see each other, we can hear each other, we can laugh together, which we kind of still cannot put into the words that we type on somewhere else. So this is priceless.
Exactly. This is the word.
Yeah. So this is people that are watching what you're looking for. I'm joking. So would you like to share any last words, my dear Musketeers?
I think you have to use your passion every day. You never forget your ideas, and you have to breathe all day to look forward and to advance in your life and with others.
Yeah, I'm so with you on that, Amalia. It's like, I know that this is a sentence and we throw this a lot around, but I think that this can be a deal breaker and a deal maker. It's, just put one step in front another, take baby steps, and just push forward and don't give up. And also what we did here today, I think is the best safety net that you also can have. It is when times get rough, you can always, there is always something that catches you, which is the community of people that can lend a hand or laugh with you or say, oh, come on, you'll get through this, or you'll push forward. So I definitely agree. On these high spirits and on this high note, Varun, did you want to say something else?
Just to your community. So never stop communicating. Many brands have blogs, but they are not responding to the comments of their community. They don't put kind of all the is all that to your community. That or those who are and just keep growing the line and up 7
Thanks for sharing this. I hope my global musketeers caught this. Unfortunately, I didn't. But I'm sure that our viewers hopefully were able to catch it. And on this high note, I will officially close the episode number 19. We're already putting steps one in front of another for the episode 20, which you will learn more about at the end of the week. Thank you kindly and gratefully, everybody, from all of us here for supporting us, watching us, sharing our connections, sharing our friendship, and also sharing the content that we provide, either live or in any written form, or with the connections that you create with us. Don't forget, for all of you who might be new, we get together live every Tuesday. The slight change of timing, which means 12:30 p.m. ET, 6:30 Central European Time, and 10 o'clock Indian Standard Time. So most of the global community can join, can watch live, and also share with us. Once again, thank you very much for tuning in. We wish you all a great week ahead, and thank you for being here with us, and thank you also for sharing with us. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Ciao.